Yeah, well, I think with a lot of first-time candidates in 2018, I was no different. The election of Donald Trump really changed my life, and I didn't know what I wanted to do but I wanted to get more active. At the time, I was living in Seattle, and I went to visit my grandma, who's my inspiration in life, and she told me, you got to move back to Iowa, and you got to take care of the farm. And our farm is 4 hours away from where I grew up, and we just rented out. But it resonated with me because a month later she passed away, and at her funeral, that's when I felt the pull to come back home. A month after that, I'm still in Seattle. I go to the Women's March, and I was so just blown away by the raw power and energy. That's when I was like, you know what, I need to move back to Iowa and fight. And I didn't know what that meant or what it would look like. And when I started looking for a job in my hometown paper for a month, the best job I could find was $15 an hour with no benefits. And here I was working in one of the biggest economies, not only in the U.S. but in the world. Back home, there's a reason why we're having a youth drain. People are moving away because of opportunities. And so I kind of created a job being a freelance paralegal, and then a month in, saw nobody was running against King, and that's when I said, you know what, I can't sit on the sidelines. I didn't know if I could raise $5, but I knew I could start a grassroots effort of get out there to the people. And I mean, it was very humbly launched, but we grew and grew and grew, and we went to all 39 counties at least 3 times, most of them 5, 6 times, and you could see each time the progression. The first time it was, God bless you, somebody should run against King. And the second time is, oh, you're just not Steve King, you're standing for something. And that third time is when you saw the hope and the energy and the buzz, and I knew we were on to something pretty special. I'm thinking about it. I need to make a decision here next week, probably. I'm definitely giving it considerations, but it's not easy to run, and especially the way that we ran. I bought a used RV and pretty much lived in that for 3 months. I mean, when you're a working class candidate, it's not that easy to just bounce back and to run again. So yeah, so I mean, this is the frustrating thing is in the New York Times and how he got rid of all his they took away all his committee hearings or committee. The reason he did that is because in the New York Times he said, when was white nationalism and white supremacy a derogatory term? And he said that the New York Times misquoted him, and that there's no tape or no audio of it. And so here's the thing. In October, he said the same exact thing on Des Moines television. So even if he got misquoted in January, he said it on television in October. So it's so frustrating because there was a CNN article just yesterday about the place where he was born thrives on immigrants. And it's this blending place where the high school has 17 different languages taught there. And they're very proud of who they are now. And it's, you go throughout the district, and we need a workforce. We're losing our kids, and honestly, immigration and the immigrants that are working in our district are saving our district. And so it's very frustrating to have somebody who's so-called representing us so drastically different than what our district needs are. And that's his whole thing. He's put his ideology and I mean, you can call him a lot of things. I call him selfish because he's putting his ideology over representing us. Well, and I don't know. Yeah, yeah. And that's the frustrating thing, because like right after Charlottesville, the Southern Poverty Center, I think, released something on hate crimes, on not hate crimes, on hate groups in America. In the 4th District, there's not a hate group. And so I tweeted out, the one person who probably qualifies for that moved to D.C.